Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Fantasy Football Addicts. My name is Dawson Shibley, and today we're going to be starting a new little mini series that we're going to be doing throughout the summer called Player Profiles. And we're just all these videos are going to be is one of us going to be different every time. Me, Wyatt, and Nick are all going to break down different players and kind of give you an outlook on the goods, the bads, the reasons to buy, the reasons to sell on these players for both redraft and dynasty, and just kind of break them down in a quick 5 to 10 minute video, and hopefully you guys get some value out of these videos. They're going to kind of be a little supplement to our normal longer videos, but there's going to be quick 5 to 10 minute long breakdowns of different players that are all players fantasy relevant. So with that being said, let's get started with our first ever player profile for the season, Derrick Henry. The reason I wanted to start with Derrick Henry is because he is a very unique player to me, at least in my eyes, because he has two totally different outlooks from redraft to dynasty. I think in the redraft, he's a smash pick in the middle of the first round. He's, I think, my RB6 in redraft. But he is a top RB1 in redraft. However, when you go to dynasty, his outlook is not nearly the same to me because he is on his franchise tag year, which we know could mean he's not going to end up in Tennessee next year. So if he doesn't end up signing a long-term deal there, he is a very risky pick because that whole offense is built around Derrick Henry and him running the ball. And if he doesn't end up there, we don't know if the team he goes to next is going to value him the same, which means he might not get the same amount of touches as he did where that team just rode him last year. So as far as redraft, though, this season, I love him because they're going to run him into the ground at least this season, just like they did last year. They're going to give him a lot of touches. So I'm going to kind of look a little bit into Derrick Henry's stats and show you why I like him and what are some things to be aware of throughout the season, some risky things, and some reasons why I like him. So, all right, so we're here looking at Derrick Henry's 2019 stats. As you can see right here, 2019, he touched the ball 321 times. That is a large amount of touches. That's why I like him. He's going to touch the ball a ton. But here's why I'm a little hesitant on Derrick Henry. One, this number right here, 18 catches, is just nothing. And if you're in a standard league, ignore this. That doesn't matter. He's just running the ball a ton. But for most of us, should be at least playing half PPR or PPR. This number right here is a huge detriment to his fantasy production compared to other running backs like CMC, Saquon, Kamara, those guys. So we love the fact that he's going to rush for 1,500 yards. I think he was the rushing leader last season. 300 touches on the ground. However, you do need to be aware that he is just a non-factor. Look at in his 4 seasons in the NFL, he has never had 20 receptions. So that is a big, big dip to his production. And that is something everyone knows about Derrick Henry, and it's just something that is very much a risk factor. I also think there's a possible touchdown regression this year. He scored 18 touchdowns last year. That's a large amount of touchdowns I don't know if that's repeatable. I mean, he does get all the goal line work, so it's definitely possible. I'm just not sure if that offense is going to score that much. But it's hard to predict touchdown regression, so I'm not saying that's a reason you shouldn't, but that's something to be aware of is that 18 total touchdowns last year is a large number, and that could come down. So those are just a couple stats that I want to talk about Derrick Henry. Those are pretty much the two obvious stats. The obvious take on Derrick Henry is that this year for redraft, he's going to touch the ball a lot, but it's not going to be through the air. And that is going to be why he's not going to crack the top 5 in a lot of people's lists because that receiving game is just so important for running backs sometimes, and he just doesn't have it. So all in all, I'm in on Derrick Henry for the 2020 season. And as of right now, that's all I'm in on him for because I don't know where he's going to go next year. And that really worries me because I have no idea how other teams are going to treat him. So I think this year, redraft, smash him in the middle of the first round. Dynasty, I wouldn't touch him higher than the 3rd round, in my opinion. In a Superflex league, obviously. I think the 3rd round, maybe back second. I think the 3rd is where I'd like to take Derrick Henry as maybe my RB3. Definitely not an RB1 for my team in a Dynasty league because we don't know where he's going to end up. So that is my take on Derrick Henry. There's a quick little player profile. So I personally like Derrick Henry for redraft this year. And that's where I stand on him right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Keep your eye out for a lot of these player profiles coming. We're going to have Mick and Wyatt also be giving them throughout the summer. So we're going to have them coming out all the time. Our goal is to get pretty much every fantasy football relevant player on this playlist of player profiles. So our next main video, keep an eye out for the next main video, which will be a sleeper show, I believe. And we're going to have another episode of Dawson's Debate. So keep your eye out for that. Should be coming soon. Thank you all for watching. If you got any value out of this and enjoyed, give us a like, subscribe, spread the word. We're trying to get started. With that being said, my name is Dawson Shibley. Thank you so much for watching another episode of The Fantasy Football Addicts.